Is the American two-party system on the brink of collapse? What if I told you the richest man in the world is planning to take a sledgehammer to it? We're not talking about another think tank or a protest movement. We're talking about a full-blown hostile takeover of American politics. Stay tuned, because today we're decoding if Elon Musk can actually pull it off in our deep dive. Why Washington fears Elon Musk. Welcome to US and World Politics Decoded, your channel for understanding the stories behind the headlines. Have you ever looked at your ballot, seen the same two choices, and thought to yourself, is this really it? There has to be a better way. It's a feeling millions of Americans share, a deep hunger for something new, something that breaks the endless cycle of partisan warfare. Now, imagine the one person on the planet who has disrupted the auto industry, space travel, and social media, says he's going to fix that. Elon Musk, the world's wealthiest man and biggest political donor last year, has thrown down the gauntlet. He declared on social media, "The AmericaParty was formed today." But is this the dawn of a new political era? A genuine challenge to the establishment? Or are we just witnessing the most expensive, most chaotic, and ultimately, most fleeting political tweet storm in history? The answer is far more complex and far more controversial than you think. Let's start with the bombshell itself. On Saturday, Musk made his declaration. Just like that. A new party. But as with many of Musk's grand proclamations, the details are, well, they're basically non-existent. As of this report, he hasn't even bothered to register the AmericaParty with the Federal Election Commission. It's a classic Musk move. A grand, world-changing idea announced in a tweet, while the actual nitty-gritty work remains a complete mystery. According to insiders, his private conversations about the party have been purely conceptual, floating ideas without getting into the weeds of what it would actually take to build a political machine from scratch. Now, some of his advisors are reportedly scrambling to figure out the logistics, reaching out to experts to understand the monumental task ahead. They've even privately indicated a plan to use a super PAC to gather initial support before a formal party is established. We have to ask, is he serious? This is the man who toys with markets, who offers grand pronouncements only to let them wither away. But this is also the man whose seemingly casual jokes, like his initial purchase of Twitter stock, turned into world-changing, multi-billion-dollar investments. So, when he says he wants to disrupt the duopoly's control over Washington, we have to consider the possibility that he means it. But meaning it and achieving it are two vastly different things. Launching a new national party in the United States might genuinely be harder than sending a man to Mars. And this is where the fantasy collides with a brutal wall of reality. Musk boasted that transforming American democracy wouldn't be difficult, which suggests one thing. He has spent virtually no time studying the labyrinthine hellscape of American election law. First, there's the legal nightmare of just getting on the ballot. Each state has its own intricate web of rules designed, frankly, to keep third parties out. Take Georgia, for example. In Georgia, a new party candidate for Congress has to collect 27,000 signatures from their district. This single rule has been so effective that not one third-party congressional candidate has appeared on the general election ballot there since the law was passed in 1943. Let that sink in. And here's the kicker. The kind of bureaucratic irony that feels like a political sitcom plot. The very name AmericaParty could trip him up. In New York State, there's a law that explicitly prohibits the word American, or any version of it, from being used in a party's name on the ballot. Then there's the price tag. An expert from Ballot Access News estimates that to get a full slate of 435 candidates for the House of Representatives on the ballot nationwide, Musk would need to collect 3 times the number of signatures required for a presidential candidate. The cost for just that signature collection? Over $50 million. We're not even talking about advertising, staff, or campaign events yet. Just the price of admission. One expert who is tracking the situation predicted that Musk is the type of person who, when he finds out how difficult this is, will give up. And who would even run this party? This isn't a tech startup where you can hire the best engineers with stock options. In the world of politics, loyalty and connections are everything. Republican strategists who might be sympathetic are reportedly terrified of joining any anti-Trump effort, knowing that Donald Trump has a long history of punishing anyone who even vaguely associates with his opponents. The Trump White House is already keeping a close watch on Musk's allied operatives. This means Musk might have to rely on the mercenaries of the political world, operatives willing to risk their reputation with the GOP establishment if the price is right. Let's not forget, the graveyard of American politics is filled with the ghosts of failed third parties. Remember the ReformParty? It was created by another billionaire, Ross Perot, for his 1992 presidential run. He won an incredible 19 million votes on a populist platform. But after a brief flash of success, the party fizzled out and died. Even Ralph Nader, whose Green Party campaign in 2000 was accused of spoiling the election for Al Gore, is skeptical. He says of Musk, he is not Ross Perot. He doesn't have a popular program to run on. So far, Musk's entire platform seems to be reducing the deficit and being angry at Trump. More recently, the much-hyped No Labels group failed to even put forward a candidate in 2024, and Andrew Yang's Forward Party has made no significant impact anywhere. These efforts prove that American voters may say they want a third option, but they rarely vote for one. So, is Musk doomed to repeat their failures? Maybe not. There are smarter, more surgical ways he could play this. He may not even know what he wants yet. On social media, he's floated the idea of focusing his efforts on just a tiny number of races in 2026, maybe 2 or 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts. Now, this is where it gets interesting. On the surface, it seems too small for Musk's grand ego. But in a narrowly divided Congress, a small block of independent lawmakers aligned with Musk could hold the ultimate power. They could become the kingmakers, deciding which party controls the House and Senate. For this to work, he would need to act like an old-school party boss, directing the actions of his chosen candidates. But there are even more radical and perhaps easier paths. Why build a new house when you can take over an existing one? He could simply work within the Republican Party. He has already pledged to support Representative Thomas Massie, a Republican who is facing a primary challenge from a Trump loyalist. He could pour his millions into supporting the few remaining Republicans who are privately disgusted with Trump, but too scared to say so publicly. And then there's the most explosive option of all, proposed by Nick Troiano of Unite America. Forget trying to elect new people. The real opportunity is to persuade current members of Congress to defect. Imagine if a handful of moderate Republicans, tired of their miserable existence in the party, were offered a lifeline by Musk, a promise of unlimited funding to win re-election if they jumped ship to the AmericaParty. Whether they operated as a bloc within the GOP or as a truly new party would almost be irrelevant. It would be a political earthquake, a direct challenge to Trump's authority, and a move that could shatter the current party structure. So, where does this leave us? The path to creating a viable third party from scratch is a minefield of legal hurdles, financial drains, and political poison. The history of American politics tells us it's a fool's errand. The key takeaway is this: Elon Musk has the money and the megaphone, but the system is expertly designed to crush outsiders. However, if he plays his cards right, using his vast resources not to build a massive national party, but to strategically support or peel away a few key players, the consequences could be earth-shattering. If he fails, he'll be just another billionaire whose ego couldn't buy him a political movement. But if he succeeds, even on a small scale, he could become the single most powerful person in American politics. A puppeteer holding the strings of a deadlocked Congress. He could break the two-party system, not with a tidal wave, but with a crack that splinters the foundation. The result could be chaos and instability, or just maybe, it could force a new kind of politics in Washington. What do you think? Is Elon Musk a political savior, a disruptor America needs, or a spoiler who will only make things worse? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching US and World Politics Decoded. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe with the notification bell turned on so you never miss our deep dives into the stories that shape our world. We'll see you next time.